Come to our channel. This is a very interesting event happening. It's a literary art festival, but the focus is on environment.
That's right.
We don't see that often. So, if you could talk about this whole festival, the significance and importance of these kind of festivals.
I think these kind of festivals are a place where different minds working in different way to convey messages, come together and discuss ideas, tell how they work, and also express the feeling about what they have been doing or something like that. So basically, it's kind of a platform where people exchange views, share ideas, and discuss about pressing issues. For example, this year they have decided to do it on environment. Um, so yeah, I think this is the beauty of that this kind of gatherings.
I believe you wanted to be a doctor, and then you got into environment. This whole journey, how did it come?
Basically, I became a journalist by accident. So I was a very good student in school, and I wanted to be a doctor, but I could not really. I mean, I didn't pass the exam, but I always wanted to, and also due to some financial issues, I could not get money to paid kind of study. So at the time, environment was a very pressing issue back in 2001. Everybody was talking about climate change and environment. So I started to study environmental science in university. When I was doing my bachelor's degree, I was very keen to speak in radio. So one day I went to a local radio station and then I told them I want to do a program, and they thought my voice is good and then they gave me a job. So after finishing my master's degree in environmental science, I thought like a lot of people are doing science and they become scientists, but I want to communicate that science to a larger community. That's where I ended up becoming a journalist.
Talking about Nepal right now, what are the pressing environmental issues? If you could throw some light on that, important environmental issues concerning Nepal.
I mean, if you see all the way from Afghanistan to Myanmar in the mountains, they are going through the same kind of problem. If you see up in the mountains, there is a glacier melt. The melting of ice is rapid. That is depleting the amount of snow on mountains. If you come a little bit down to mid hills, majority of springs are drying up. There's a building spree, like everybody is building the roads. So the connectivity has increased, but the roads have been built so badly and haphazardly that it has induced a lot of landslides, and the pattern of rainfall had changed in past in a few decades due to climate change, as science tells us. So the landslides are very very big issue. The rampant development is a big issue. If you move down to cities and urban cities, basically there's haphazard urbanization that has for example, air pollution is very very bad. Rivers are being polluted, and if you see across Nepal or across Himalaya, majority of rivers are being dammed for hydropower. There is a hunger for energy, but those hydropowers, maybe they need to be built, but they haven't been designed well to allow other kind of environmental, to reduce the environmental degradation. So it is very very rampant. It is very very rapid in the country, which is really hampering the biodiversity in the rivers, as well as if you go down to the lowlands, for example, majority of land is being used for urbanization, which has reduced the land that could be cultivated. The cultivable land is decreasing, and there's a water level depletion in the lowlands because there's a lot of extraction of groundwater from the river, from the land. So there are a lot of issues that has been very problematic, very serious. It is very concerning, but I think there hasn't been an active initiation to curb those problems.
And how's the environmental journalism scene right now in Nepal? Are you in a very strong community, very vocal about environmental issues? I think.
I would say yes, it has increased. It is not that bad. It has become a concern of newsrooms. A lot of newspapers, where the televisions or online, the number of news that we used to publish in the past, if you compare that with the present, it has increased because of online space. In a lot of online outlets. It is not very bad, but it is also good in many ways. So when you talk about environment, when you write about environment, basically you are tagged as anti-development kind of guy, and then that hinders a lot of journalists to write what the reality is. It is not as bad as in India. In many ways, the problems, number of journalists have been killed, number of defendants have been killed, a couple of have been killed in Nepal as well. But I think it is going to increase as the extraction of resources is increasing, and more corporate world is coming up. So there will be a lot of pressure for journalists, but I think still Nepal is doing some level of environment journalism, but there are quite a lot of challenges.
And the last question, a lot of youngsters are watching this. What message, taking message you want to give to youngsters about the environment?
What I think is, environment not about um, it is not about foreign against the development. It is about how to do better development, how to become a prosperous. I mean, it would be like you should, as a youngster, you are going to live more than the older ones. So you have to think about this planet more than the older ones, and we need to think about our future, and you need to understand how things are evolving, how the world is moving forward, and how humans have really destroyed environment in different ways. And I think you should try to do things in a better way. So there has been development. There's advancement of technology. We have a lot of infrastructures, but I think we also need to think about how our activities have been really destructive for this planet, and we should think about that more seriously. And I think you have a greater responsibility to think about it, learn about it, and do things in a better way.
Thank you for this wonderful interview.